Hey everyone, welcome back to SCUM for Beginners. Surviving on the island requires continuous looting. If you want better gear, you have to be willing to go into more dangerous areas and perform additional tasks to get greater rewards. Sometimes, higher tier loot is stored in locked compartments. Today, we're going to talk about lockpicking, so let's get started. There are 4 key elements to lockpicking: skill level, tools, lock type, and hand mobility. Let's talk about each of them in greater detail. When you create your character, you may not have put much, if any, points into lockpicking. That's okay, because you can actually craft a lockpicking board and use it to practice. The lockpicking board can be used indefinitely as long as it has durability and it only requires 1 lockpick and 1 screwdriver to use. The more you perform lockpicking, including on the practice board, the more your skill will increase. The higher the skill, the easier it will be for you to perform the lockpicking minigame without breaking your tools. Speaking of tools, there are 2 ways to gain access to a locked compartment. The first is by brute force. If you have a crowbar, you can crack open a locked compartment, no skill required. This takes the longest amount of time, uses stamina, and is very loud, so keep that in mind if you plan to use this method. The second method is through the lockpicking minigame. For this, you will need a screwdriver and a lockpick. There are 2 types of screwdriver: red, which has up to 3 uses, and black, which has up to 40 uses. There are also 3 types of lockpick: a single-use, craftable, improvised lockpick, a regular lockpick with up to 4 uses, and a red advanced lockpick with up to 6 uses. Screwdrivers and lockpicks can be looted, but are typically not available for purchase from the traders. There are 3 common types of lock: a basic iron lock, a medium silver lock, and an advanced gold lock. The higher the quality of lock, the less time you have to lockpick it before the minigame ends, and the less forgiving it is before your tools will break. Finally, the mobility of your fingers will be restricted based on what you're wearing on your hands. If you wear gloves, you will see a hand symbol during the minigame that will signify how much they are impairing your ability. A yellow hand is a moderate impairment, and a red hand is a significant impairment. For this reason, I recommend not wearing gloves while performing lockpicking to minimize any hindrance to your success. The lockpicking minigame is fairly straightforward. With your tools in your inventory or within range, click F on a locked compartment. An instruction screen will appear and the game won't start until you click the spacebar. Once the minigame begins, use your mouse to move the lockpick, and periodically press F to test if you are close to the sweet spot or not. Continue moving your mouse until you find the general area of the sweet spot and then fine-tune your adjustments before the timer runs out. If you fail to pick the lock, the screwdriver and lockpick will break, removing 1 use from each item. You can repeat the minigame as often as you like until you are either successful or you run out of tools. Once the lock is picked, the minigame screen will close and you can now loot the compartment as normal. As you are looting, I recommend collecting as many bobby pin boxes as you can, since regular and advanced lockpicks tend to be more rare. Use the bobby pins to craft improvised lockpicks. Once you have 10 improvised lockpicks, use them to craft an improvised lockpick bundle. This will save you an enormous amount of space and will also allow you to have the tools you need ready for use when it comes time to pick locks. Now that you have what you need to access lock compartments, you're 1 step closer to being a loot master. Good luck and see you on SCUM Island!